This week on the Southern Fried Philosophy podcast, AI is taking over the world. We have a Girl Scout cookie bracket, and our special guest, Gabriel, from Groundwork Common, the coffee shop. All that and more on the Southern Fried Philosophy podcast. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Southern Fried Philosophy podcast, where it's two guys take on life, liberty, and the pursuit of gravy, and you, the listener, are getting a degree in common sense. We are broadcasting from the Busted Knuckle studio right here in beautiful downtown historic Concord, North Carolina. I'll be your host, Biggin, and how about you? We've got a great show lined up for you as always, but before we begin, let me introduce you to the second half of this flaky biscuit. That's right, I'm talking about the pride of Anderson, South Carolina, but most of you probably know him best as the Silver Tongue one, 2016's Honorable Mention Motorcycle Salesman of the Year, the inventor of the Redneck Egg Roll. Give it up for my man, old Mike number one, it's Mojo!
I feel like we need to stand at attention and salute something with this song. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, thanks again for tuning in to the Southern Fried Philosophy podcast. You can go to Facebook and reach us there at Southern Fried Philosophy. You can also go to our website at southernfriedphilosophy.com. You can also follow us on the Twitters and the Instagram at SFP Radio. Also, please go to our youtube.com/SFP Radio.
That was beautiful. Good job.
Trying to remember all my lines.
You mentioned the YouTubes?
YouTubes,
so
yeah.
You're doing fantastic.
It's like 7 weeks straight, I think.
You nailed it. Though we've had like four watches, so it's worth it.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. I'm going to ask you like I ask you every week. Mojo, how you be doing?
I'm doing good, but you know what burns my biscuits, buddy?
Come on, bring the heat.
Netflix, the
Netflix.
The abyss called Netflix.
It'll suck you in
Dude,
like none other.
Yeah, I mean, especially right now, you just work is crazy. You sit down and you're like, I'm going to chill and watch one show.
One episode.
Then, like, just one more. I can squeeze one more in.
Just one more.
And then you're like, I got to get the girls up at 7. Mm-hmm. I can deal with 4 hours sleep tonight.
Which one has sucked you in? Are you?
Which one has not?
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, a new show comes on. It don't matter what if it's a foreign language or not. I'm watching it.
Have you seen this new one? Have you seen the one called The Push?
I have not watched that one.
All right, so your homework assignment is to watch that one.
I can't do it tonight. I need sleep.
No. I mean, between now and next week.
Gotcha.
We'll watch it. We'll talk about it next week. See if.
But I really blame this on 24.
Oh yes.
Because season 1, 24, back in the day, they had a lead up to season 2, which my wife and I never watched TV a lot back then, TV shows, because we just didn't have the time to dedicate.
Yep.
But we were off a weekend and they were getting ready to debut season 2. So FX, Fox affiliate, had a 24-hour marathon. We stayed up for 24 hours watching this stinking show. We had pizza delivered. We had Chinese delivered. I mean, it was crazy. So I blame that show for being the precursor for binge watching.
Yeah, I think our first thing that we binge watched was Alias, the show with Jennifer Garner, and we actually bought the seasons. Like it was that
important.
That important.
Yeah.
We bought the seasons and watched it. And
that's back in the day when you had DVD players.
I can't imagine what the future is going to have.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago we were buying DVD seasons, and now like all of a sudden, we'll just download it. It's all free.
Well, it wasn't that long ago when we were buying cassettes.
You're right.
So
you're right.
Technology has rapidly changed, but man, the binge TV, man, it kills me.
Golly.
It kills me.
Yeah.
So I was back up this morning at 4 watching an episode from something I stopped last night. So it's great. But when you don't have much time, you try to squeeze as much time in.
Yeah.
But the binge thing, man, just absolutely.
Yeah.
Just one season tonight. I'll watch one. Just one 24 episode season this night. I got you.
I got it. I can wrap it up.
I be darned.
Good. I've had a little bit more time not working, and I hope my boss doesn't listen to this, but I've been able to think a little bit more. I guess things haven't been nearly as busy. But my wife went to the grocery store the other day, and I opened up the cabinet, and I saw some raisins. And I was like, okay, started eating raisins. And then I got to thinking about this. A raisin is just a dried grape, right? Mm-hmm. And then I was like, well, what other food do we change the entire name based on if it's dried or not. And so I spent like probably about 15 minutes thinking through this list. And the only thing I've got corn, and then we dry that out, and it's maize. If we dry out meat, it's jerky. Goji berries are actually just dried wolfberries. And then plums are just dried prunes, right? But like, at what status do you get where you can just, if you dry it, a food, do you then become a completely different thing? So
I don't have an answer for that. Yeah,
through my head.
And but obviously it was you're thinking about it for longer than 15 minutes,
right?
So
yeah.
Actually, I don't have a good answer for that. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
I mean, what we don't like, if you do tomatoes, it's just sun dried tomatoes.
Right.
We should just call raisins just.
Well, but
dried
there's
grapes.
other foods out there. Such you go through McDonald's and order a cheeseburger. It says cheeseburger, but it comes out just SOS.
Right.
So
No, that's true.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Well, I'll add that to the list. If you cook a McDonald's hamburger, it's something completely different.
Oh yeah, and definitely don't like the pictures.
Yeah.
So
they're never the same. So I don't know why that.
Hey, look, I have random toilet room thoughts too. So
that was on my brain.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd ask the chef, why in the world do we, just because it's, anyway. All right, so speaking of wacky, here we go.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. It's making me crazy. It's making me crazy. Every time I look around.
Yeah, wacky world.
Every time I look around. It's in my face.
All right, so we talked about the Amazon Echo last week, and you are absolutely creeped out by it. Well, guess what? Here's some reasons to be more creeped out by it. All of a sudden, users started claiming that the lights have been coming on and then emitting a, quote, evil laugh. And they would say things like, hey, Alexa, set an alarm for 2 minutes, and then it would do this creepy laugh. And then like it would ask different things like, oh, this one is one where it's like lying in bed about to fall asleep when Alexa on my Amazon Echo Dot let out a very loud and creepy laugh. There's a good chance that I get murdered tonight. So here's the sound of this creepy laugh. Just imagine being alone in the house and then hearing this. Could you imagine? Here we go again. Just no reason.
That sounds like 2017 Hillary Clinton political trail laugh. I'm telling you, that is creepy.
I mean, and I asked my Alexa or my Amazon to do it, and it sounded nothing like that. It was like, I can laugh, or something like. It was like, it was t. That's what it said. It's like t. It sounded nothing like that. But I mean, could you imagine late at night?
That would be creepy.
That would be creepy.
Especially if you're like that point where you're about to fall asleep. You know, the eyes are getting heavy, and all of a sudden you hear that laugh.
And you live in like a 110-year-old house. That'll do it.
Yeah, that's when the Amazon Dot Echo goes straight out the window.
All right, what you got, bud?
Suspected Harlow drug dealer lasted 47 days without pooing. Has now been released. No pun intended.
What happened to that?
So a suspected drug dealer who was detained 47 days in custody without pooping has been released from custody and taken to the hospital for treatment. You think?
You think?
Lamar Chambers, 24, Brixton, London, was arrested on Wednesday, January 17th, after the car he was stopped in Parsonage Lays, wherever that is, and appeared before a court days later after police suspected him he swallowed drugs. At the hearing and in several other hearings, the court authorized the detention of Mr. Chambers to enable him to pass the drugs police thought were inside him. But after 47 days, he had still not emptied his bowels. So, number one, that's a crazy story, but obviously in England, you're guilty before innocent, and obviously in the States, it's a little different. So, but 47 days without taking a poo?
Yeah.
That's a record.
I can barely go 24 hours. I can't go 24 hours. That ain't happening.
It's a roll of the dice for me. It depends on what I have to eat. Yeah, 47 days. I'm surprised the guy hasn't died yet. So,
there's no way.
Yeah, no doubt.
I barely made it through work today. I'll tell you that.
And you're right down the hall from your bathroom.
Right. Yep. It got a hold of me like none other. I don't know where that came from. I ate some smart popcorn.
Uh-huh.
Hey, buddy, I just ran right through you.
It's probably made with some weird ingredients. I'm sure.
You're right. What else you got?
Let's see. Yes. 3 daycare teachers accused of giving toddlers melatonin-laced gummy bears. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with melatonin, but melatonin is an herb that people take to help fall asleep. It's a natural herb. It's not like it's a pharmaceutical. But yeah, 3 teachers were at a suburban Chicago daycare center are accused of giving gummy bears containing melatonin to a class of 2-year-olds with authorization from their parents. They named the ladies. All the ladies are range from ages of 19, 25, and 32.
No, that explains that.
They told police they did not think it was an inappropriate action because they were handing out an over-the-counter sleeping aid.
Well,
so they weren't arrested. They were just accused. They admitted it. I don't think they should be arrested. They probably should be given an award. I'm telling you, like daycare teachers of the year. So,
good job.
I know my 5-year-old's on crack. I can imagine a room full of
Could you imagine a room full of little ones just?
Oh, by the way,
nuts?
How was my daughter, my 5-year-old stayed at your house this weekend? How was that?
It was great. Actually, she did very good. I will give her props. We made cookies. We didn't eat. We didn't know if she was going to eat before, and she ate before we got in the car. Then she said, "I'm so full. I don't want to eat one more thing." And then we rolled up to a Chick-fil-A, and all of a sudden she's starving. Like, I need chicken nuggets now.
There you go.
I'm like, okay.
There you go. So
we figured that would be the case. So we stopped in and got some chicken nuggets. And then she was sad we had to go through the drive-thru and not go through the playground.
I always tell her the playground's being cleaned.
Yeah, she saw kids running around in it. I was like,
that's only for 6 and 7-year-olds. I have an excuse for everything, but at least she said she was hungry and not said, "No, I'll just have a bite of yours," because you know how that would have gone.
Oh, so. Yeah. So it starts at that young of an age that they learn, "I'll just have a bite."
It could be
because my wife has said if she says I'll have a bite, then that means I'll have half, and then if she says I'll have some, that means I get a bite. That's how that's usually playing out for us.
Yeah. So at least she hasn't mentioned that yet. But at least you got her to eat. So did she keep you up to like 3 o'clock in the morning?
No, she was passed out by 9 o'clock.
Nice.
And she had the cough thing going on.
Yeah.
But no, she was passed out by 9.
I'm glad she did all right. But I know she's high strung for us. So
no,
I was expecting.
A little angel.
I wouldn't go that far.
She was close to a little angel.
Okay.
All right, how about that?
Don't tell her that. We don't want to give her that.
She won't listen to the podcast. So that explains that. All right, so that was Wacky News brought to you by Webmerized. If you want a crisp, clean, new website that you deserve, check out webmerized.com for that. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to have, check this out, a Girl Scout cookie bracket. So you'll want to pay attention and stay tuned for that. And we also have Gabriel from Groundwork Common Coffee. That's our special guest. So we'll be back. You're listening to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. Do you know it takes a customer 3 seconds to decide whether to stay or leave your website? That's why a crisp, clean, and user-friendly website is one of the best ways to market and help and grow your business. At Webmerized Web Design, we offer that and much more. They pride themselves in offering their clients professional websites at affordable prices. Are you a small business? No problem. We can cater to small businesses by working with their clients every step of the way to meet their needs and expectations. Their number one goal is to partner with their clients to help and grow their business with a successful website. They work for every client, no matter the size. So if you'd like a great website, go to webmerized.com, webmerized.com, or you could check out their link on the sponsors link of our website. If you mention the word Biggin, you'll get 10% off your website design order. Again, webmerized.com. Check them out.
I could eat my Girl Scout cookies. I could eat them all night long. I like them late at night with a glass of milk. Them buttercreams go down smooth as silk. I like them late at night when I'm in my bed.
All right, so we on the line with us, we've got Megan and Daniel Charlton, and Megan is the pack leader. I don't know what you call it, but like the pack leader of the Girl Scout troop that gets all the cookies.
The Cookie Mom.
Is that the official title of a Cookie Mom?
Yes.
Could we change that to Cookie Momster?
That would be amazing.
So tell us kind of what your job is on the Girl Scout Cookie Mom. What's the resume that you have to have, or what's your job entitled?
Well, you have to be a Girl Scout volunteer.
Okay.
Background checked, all that other stuff. I'm a leader in addition to it, so I have to lead the girls when we have meetings. I have to go through training, which is about 3-4 hours of sitting in front of a computer and watching videos and taking quizzes to learn all about cookie season. And what the requirements are for cookie season and how all the programs work and the rules and etiquette of how to make cookies and how to work the money.
Wow. That's
before cookie season starts.
Like you can only have so many adults. You only want 2 adults and 2 girls out there
At a booth.
At a booth, and they also do surprise inspections, which we don't really know about. But they get a little sneaky, and they have somebody come through and actually monitor you guys and check up on that.
So what happens if you don't pass inspection? Do they shut the whole thing down?
We got an email last year because we apparently had too many adults and too many girls at a booth.
Yo.
And we got in trouble for that.
Wow.
And they said, if you are, we're going to come back and check on you, and if you're not in compliance with the rules, you'll be banned from selling cookies at cookie booths from here on out.
Obviously, that person was not picked first in any sports in
No.
school. Wow. Was the job for like health inspector already taken, or hall monitor taken?
Or what about the person that puts like Inspector 42 in your pants pockets? Maybe that person?
What part of your life?
That seems like a lot.
Oh, jeez.
but we got to admit though, it's all about the cookie, right? I mean,
Yes.
See, I would equate you and probably I'd equate you as the Pablo Escobar of Girl Scout cookie dealers out there, and I will say dealer. Maybe I would maybe say your daughter is like the Tony Montana. I mean, because she looks like she would put me out of my misery if I didn't buy a box. So,
but the problem is she would look at you
Sales
with those eyes, and then
Yeah.
that's how she gets you.
can she maybe use the line when people walk up, "Say hello to my little friends"?
And I also got to give props to the dad. I mean, Dad, you can I give away your secret for how you got the cookies from the cookie distribution to your house?
Totally. So
Well-
I'd explain if that's a little easier.
Sure.
So I took off work last year and this year. It was our second year doing this. And this year we rented a budget rented truck, big old 12-footer type thing, which was basically the cheapest we could find, and loaded 300 cases of cookies. Now there are 12 boxes per case. So if somebody wants to do the math, I don't know what that is.
I have no idea, and I'm not going to attempt that. But that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. And then you have to.
So that's
600.
So that's 3,600 boxes of cookies.
Wow.
We went up to the Intimidator Stadium, and they just have a straight-up assembly line. You pull it up, and they've got people there grabbing them 2-4 boxes at a time and just throwing them in there, and then you count them.
Wow.
That's a lot of diabetes in the Cabarrus County area. I'm just going to let you know.
Ain't kidding. And that was just our troop, and we were one of the, I say, medium-sized troops.
Wow.
There was troops that they had them already on the pallet, saran wrapped, that you basically had to get the forklift out and to load them in a truck.
Wow.
Already measured out. I was like, that's pretty hardcore.
What's been like your craziest cookie story to date?
It's a great question. We've had it all. We've had booths out in front of Walmart where you have the people of Walmart showing up. It's lovely seeing the variety of different people coming up to
Sure. I mean,
taking the sugar for a variety of different reasons, you know. Some of them are not all with it, and some of them just want more to eat. We've had cookie booths or days of selling cookies where we've had to go back to the cookie cupboard. That's the place where you get extra cookies from. So if you're at a booth and you're selling cookies and you run out of cookies or you're getting close to running out, you have to make arrangements to go to a cookie cupboard and pick up more cookies.
wow.
Last year, we underestimated how many boxes we were going to need for some of our cookie booths, and I had to go 3 times in one day to pick up more boxes of cookies to sell.
Yo, that's
Yeah.
a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah, a lot of cookies. Some great stories. We've had people that have walked up and this year we had a guy hand us a $20 bill and said, next 5 kids that walk out that door, I want you to hand them a box of cookies
That's a cool story.
and let them enjoy those cookies. And it was great to be able to be a blessing to those people as they came out the door.
I like that one.
Other than then trying to organize the booths, we didn't really talk about how you get a booth, because it's straight up competition. You would think that
yeah.
we'd be all nice and friendly and support the other troop. No sirree.
Wow.
There are locations that the Girl Scout troop organization has already talked to those business owners, and they're like, hey, yeah, we could set up a booth at this time. Well, obviously, there's a whole lot more traffic at, say, a Walmart or Lowe's Hardware, Lowe's Food, than there would be at a Family Dollar or next to the QT in Harrisburg.
Yep.
Well, all that just kind of comes up round robin, and it's a first come, first serve type.
I've stayed up till midnight just to sign up for a booth, because
Holy
you can
cow.
sign up for one booth each Saturday for like 2 to 3 weeks in a row, and then one booth on Wednesdays. And if you don't hit it right at 9 o'clock when it opens in the morning, and some of them open up at midnight, and you have to stay up late to get, the prime spots. So I've stayed up real late or gotten up really early and had meetings trying to be the fastest person to click that spot, just to get a good spot. And this year we had some really excellent locations, and then we had some real duds. Set up and tear down for a booth, you've got to be able to do that in a matter of minutes.
Sure. Yeah, it's like a speed competition to get
it is.
to get it up and going. Good gracious.
It is.
Pepper
As soon as you
spray
set
and
up,
brass
people
knuckles.
coming up, well, can I buy this? Can I buy this? I'm like, dude, I'm still trying to get the food on my truck.
There,
Yeah.
Dude, can you give me like 2 minutes? No, well, you got to go.
I mean, there.
So and then there was a few times where they called Dad in and it's like, hey, man, we need a volunteer. Congratulations, you get to go.
And you have to have 2 background checked adult trained people at each booth, between 2 and 4 girls.
Yeah.
So if you have 2 girls and the cookie trained adult, but you don't have an additional adult, you can't have that booth.
Oh my goodness. I mean, the politics going on.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
a logistical nightmare to say the least.
And top of all this, once we, as a troop, buy cookies from the Girl Scouts total, we are stuck with those cookies. So there is no giving back. So you're financially responsible whether you sell them or if you don't sell them. That's on you.
Well, and
So we're trying to coordinate all of these logistics, trying to hit a moving target.
sure.
And then on top of all this, the individual troop only gets 50 cents per box.
55 cents per box.
55 cents.
Wow.
Good
per
Lord.
box.
That ain't nothing.
That's
ain't
robbery.
Then if you sell so many and you average, 200 per girl?
200 boxes per girl average.
Then it ups 65 cents.
Ooh.
It'd be a lot more cost effective if you just go buy some
Right.
Pillsbury Doughboy cookie in a bag and just cook those.
A little elfin magic will go a long way.
Yeah.
So what is your
Right?
what's your favorite? I know you guys are trying to stay away because if it was me and I had 3,600 boxes in my garage, I would probably eat them myself. Yeah, no doubt. But what is your favorite cookie?
Mine is the tag along, which is the chocolate covered peanut butter.
Yeah.
Throw those in the freezer in the fridge and just pop them.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
Amazing.
Megan, which one's yours?
If I wasn't allergic to every single one of them, I would say that. Hey, I'm the perfect person to have in my garage because
Yeah.
I really enjoy eat them. So,
Which one's yours?
Yeah, the trefoils, the
Gotcha.
shortbread cookies.
All right, so we are going. So having you on here, one is that's a lot of work. I had no idea all of the work and the logistics that had to go through with all those cookies. And you guys are all sold out, right? You are all done. There's no more left for you all.
I do have a case of Do-si-dos and 19 s'mores sitting in my garage I need to get rid of.
Okay. Well, you can bring them
But-
to church, and we will we'll get rid of those for you. But we.
Well, I mean, I'm telling you, I cannot wait. Here's some alternative locations besides Walmart. I'm telling you, if they ever make weed, the marijuana's legal in North Carolina,
The weeds and the sugars.
that'd be
both
that.
together.
Yeah,
That'd be
great.
It would sell a lot.
I think so.
I'm not gonna.
You hear about the girl? There was a girl that opened her own booth outside of one of those shops, somewhere out west,
Colorado,
and she completely sold out within an
I
hour.
bet.
Perfect.
like 300 boxes in an hour type thing. It was ridiculous, crazy.
We're gonna make our own cookies and do
I
that.
wonder what a stoner's number one cookie would be.
I don't know. But we're gonna do a bracket of the Girl Scout cookies. So, do you guys want to play along with us? And you could be a tiebreakers.
Yeah, that works.
All right. So we have given the first round cookies a bye for the first round. So the number one round cookies are Thin Mints. That's a first seed. The second runner up is the Tagalong. The third is the Samoas, and then the fourth is the Trefolds. So they get the first round bye, and then so the first round out of our West Division is going to be the chocolate chip shortbread versus the dulce de leche. Mojo, which one would you pick?
Probably Dolce.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the D. So we got that. Do you guys agree or disagree with that one?
I've never heard of those brands, but yeah,
There's the other baker.
that's the other baker. That's right. That's another fun logistics. There are 2 bakers.
Oh, okay.
So we get people coming up. It's like, well, do you have this? Do you have that? We're like, never heard of it.
Okay. All right.
Not
Well,
all girls are created equal.
there you go. So you would think. All right. So out of our East Division, we've got the Thanks a Lot or the Savannah Smiles.
Savannah Smiles.
Van.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Savannah Smiles on that one. All right. Out of our South Division, we've got Lemonades versus Thank You Very Much.
Oh, definitely lemonades. I couldn't stand a berry cookie personally.
Yeah. You guys, any thoughts on that one?
Lemonades.
Lemonade.
Lemonades will win. All right. And then out of our North Division, we've got Do-si-dos versus the Cranberry Citrus Crisp.
Ugh.
That sounds disgusting.
The do-si
Holy
dos.
God, those.
Yeah. All right.
That reminds me of those cranberry rosemary crackers from Trader Joe's.
So gross. All right, so going into our second round out of the West Division, we've got the Dulce de Leche against the Thin Mint. Which one we going with?
Thin Mint.
Thin Mints.
Thin
Definitely
Mint.
Thin Mint.
All right, and then out of our East Division, we've got the Savannah Smile versus the Tagalong.
Tag along.
Tagalong's the peanut butter one, right?
peanut butter
yeah,
one, yeah.
I'll go with that one.
Yep, I'll agree with you on that one. We've got Lemonades versus the Samoas.
Samoa.
Samoa. I'll go with you on that one. Any
Yep.
argument?
Nope.
All right, and then we've got the Do-si-do. This is probably going to be the most tricky. The Do-si-do versus the Trefoils.
The do-si-do is which one now?
It's the peanut butter sandwich.
And the trifles are just the shortbread.
Just the
right?
shortbread.
Yeah, you gotta go with it. You gotta go with the first one.
With the Do-si-do?
Yeah.
Do you guys argue on that one?
Got to go do-si-do with that one. You got to get the flavor while you're going.
All right, so
We're going to go big.
we've got our first upset right there. All right, so the Do-si-do upsets the Trefoil, the number one seed. Now, here we go. This is where it's going to get difficult. The Thin Mint over the Do-si-do.
Thin Mint.
Thin Mint.
Thin Mint.
I'm going to go with the Thin Mint on that one. All right, so number 1 seed goes there. The Tag-along versus the Samoa.
Tag.
Samoa.
Oh,
Oh.
this is where it's going to get difficult. I like the Samoas.
Oh, man. That's a 2-2. How do we break that tie?
But I'm gonna have to. I am gonna have to go for the tag along. So I'm gonna override that one. The tag along will take
Look at that.
And then so for the final round, the Thin Mint versus the tag along.
Thin Mint. I can eat my weight in Thin Mints. So
Charlton, which one?
Oh, I gotta go tag. I mean, if I said it's my favorite, I gotta go with the tag.
Oh, Megan.
Thin Mints. Thin Mints to win.
Biggin is gonna go for the Thin Mints. We've got a winner, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
Woo! Woohoo!
So actually, what is y'all's number 1 seller?
Thin Mints followed very closely by Samoas.
Wow.
How about it?
Now, how about nationally? Same thing nationally or just in this region?
Same thing nationally. Cabarrus County is actually almost a tie. If we have a Cabarrus County cookie booth, it's almost a dead tie for Thin Mints versus Samoas.
Wow.
If you go to Charlotte, it is Thin Mints all the way.
Yeah.
If you go to Asheville, they just like twigs and berries.
I think the key to the Thin Mints is because there's thin in the name. It makes you feel like you're not going to gain weight from them.
No doubt. Now, what if you took like a tag along and sandwiched it in between 2 Thin Mints?
Oh no.
I'm just.
You're on to
I
something.
did a recipe for a Girl Scout cookie dessert where you take a whole bunch of different Girl Scout cookies and put them together in some sort of a delicious looking creation.
Nice.
That sounds fantastic.
Just I couldn't do the cranberry or berry ones.
No.
Best way to eat one of those cookies, just throw it straight in the trash or on the fire pit.
Exactly.
Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and for joining, and thanks for the dog. I appreciate it.
We don't have a dog.
There.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on the show, and thanks for helping us through the bracket.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
you.
All right. Thanks.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have our special guest, Gabriel from Groundworks Common Coffee Shop. So we'll be back. You're listening to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. Hey guys, it's me, Bigging. Summer is made for grilling and chilling, and you too can be the baddest mother smoker on the block using our favorite award-winning smoking sauce. Bad Mother Smokers is perfect match for that favorite meat, veggies, or even that secret ingredient in a pot of chili. Check out badmothersmokers.com to place your order, and if you want to be a barbecue pit master like Mojo, enter the promo code MOJO for 10% off your order. Visit badmothersmokers.com or the sponsor section of our website at southernfriedphilosophy.com. All right, we are back. You're listening to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast, and with us this week we have special guest Gabriel from Groundworks Common. Is that correct?
Groundwork Common.
Groundwork Common. And tell us a little bit about Groundwork Common and what you guys do.
Well, we are a specialty coffee shop, and we're trying to serve the need in the community of bringing good quality specialty coffee and pastries. They're house-made. Our syrups are house-made, keeping everything local and fresh.
Nice. So what makes you guys different than if you were to go to the, I don't want to say the word, but the Bucky place or the
Starburnt.
There you go.
$10.
Well, one of the main things I guess you could point to is that again we're local, we're fresh, and so we're not bringing our stuff in on a truck.
Step one.
Right. Another thing is that our espresso machines and the process of making coffee is all manual, as opposed to our bigger chains are using automated machines. Mm-hmm. So the skills of the barista are imperative. Whereas the bigger chain suppliers, they are it's all on the machine.
You push a button and go, and that'll take care of it.
Yeah.
You guys are actually doing it manually.
Yes, we have to be skilled at it for it to be good.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, one of the things I noticed just going to your website, something's different about you guys. You said you wanted to give back to the community. What are some ways that you guys are doing that?
Well, we've got so many directions we want to go in. Now we have a space that's beside our coffee shop that we're going to use in some ways that we can. Already, it's kind of becoming a community center in that people are wanting to use it for business meetings, for doing yoga and all kinds of stuff like that. We also want to use it for some youth programs to try to get the youth involved in some way or another to give them a healthy space that maybe they can do. We're going to do music programs.
Oh, nice.
Do some open mic nights, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to open that up also for Bible studies and church ministry, programs like that also. So yeah, it's going to be a big variety of stuff.
That's awesome. So you guys are going to be constantly busy, right?
Yeah, it's going to be busy. It's going to be busy.
Now, are you guys affiliated with a church? I thought I saw it was connected to to a church ministry.
Well, we've always been a part of church ministry. So, of course, we're not affiliated with the local church.
Okay.
But we are a part of ministry. We've been in full-time ministry for a while now. So we do plan to do some things in ministry and plant a ministry as we go. Yes.
Nice. Very cool. So about your coffee, like I hear like a lot of the time it's about these beans, and they're throw around words like organic and fair trade and all that kind of stuff. Is that kind of where you guys are coming in at, or like what makes your beans different, or is it just the manual process of it all?
Well, as far as the beans go, our roasters would be more qualified to talk about that process.
Gotcha.
However, we do use Pure Intentions. They are a local to Charlotte roaster.
Okay.
Now, they are certified organic roasters, and to my knowledge, I think they are the only ones around us, and if that's not still accurate, they are one of the very few roasters in the area that are certified organic, which, to my understanding, means they've just gone through some pretty intense qualifications or qualifying hoops and so on and so forth. But everything is organic for the most part, and everything has been processed according to the organic standards,
Okay.
And so they have to take extra measures
Gotcha.
for all of that. Yeah.
Very cool. I did visit the shop last week, and I'll tell you, I'm not a coffee connoisseur. Like I'll go, we get our coffee from Trader Joe, so like we're not like a snooty kind. But honestly, you guys had a really good cup of coffee.
Thank you.
It was legit.
Thank you.
You said you're not snooty.
I'm not snooty on my coffee.
Trader Joe's is like a step above Folgers or Maxwell House,
Right?
Or chock full of nuts.
I mean, it's not. I'm not like the guy that's got to go to the Star Burnt place. Like it's not. I'm not like getting the high end stuff.
All right, yeah, I got you. I got you. All right, so what birthed this idea? Because obviously, this is kind of a coffee shop / ministry. So, what kind of birthed this idea?
Well, okay, so we came to a new area. We moved to a new area.
Where are you from?
We were from Atlanta.
Okay.
Atlanta,
Ooh,
Georgia.
Hot Atlanta.
I lived in Buckhead for a while.
I'm sorry about that.
Well, we were not as affluent to live in Buckhead.
Oh, I wasn't either. I lived right down the road from Johnny Rockets, and right next to the Sex Shack. So
The what? Never mind.
there's a condom store. Yeah.
We'll glance over that.
Yeah.
But we were in transition. We knew we were going to move and to a new location, and so Charlotte kind of came up on the radar. My wife got a job in North Carolina in the school systems, and so we started coming over here and visiting, and fell in love with Charlotte. In my opinion, we have traveled. I have traveled most of my life. When my parents were full-time in ministry, traveling, and so all through my childhood and so on. And it's the friendliest area I have ever seen or experienced, in my opinion, from East Coast to West Coast. So we fell in love with it. We fell in love with this area. We fell in love with Concord the more we came around Concord. Now, as far as the coffee shop, we are fanatics, or maybe there's a better word or term, but we love the coffee shop culture. So the coffee shop culture, to me, it's kind of another version of the golf course, in that a lot of collaboration takes place in the coffee shop. A lot of business deals, if you will, take place. But for us, the coffee shop is it's kind of a leveling place where everybody's on the same level. Everybody's in the same. You don't know what the person beside you makes, annually. You don't care. And someone beside you may be educated or not educated. It doesn't really matter. And so everybody kind of is in the same room, has the same goals. You have wealthy people, but they're working on their computers trying to finish an assignment with school, just like the high school student is. And so it's a connect point. And so that's what we love about the coffee shop culture. And of course, coffee comes into that. But I would say even more before even just liking coffee, we just love what a coffee shop represents.
That's really cool. I never thought about it as being like a leveling spot, but that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Well, I mean, it's an affordable luxury that everyone can afford.
Right.
So it's not like the high end super ultra lounge where you get the bottle service for liquor and stuff like that. So a coffee shop, that makes sense. I mean, I've never thought of it that way, but it's perfect. Successful to all.
So should I bring my golf clubs in next time I come in? Is that
You can. I don't know how their fairway works, but
I would
putt around?
And I would throw this in too. With the coffee shop culture, there's very few places. I guess the library would be one, but there's very few places.
Is there still a library?
That's the deal.
Yeah.
But there's very few places where you're going to go and have the opportunity to stay for a while and it be in a public place, feel somewhat safe and be able to enjoy a drink, a pastry. Some places even offer sandwiches and so on. So.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of you why a coffee shop besides the culture. I mean, where does the ministry part weave into it? Because we're starting to see very creative ministries, and I like this idea because, like I said, the accessibility. Obviously, I haven't been in yet, which I'm ashamed, but I haven't been down a lot. I'll make that. I'll change that quickly. But how do you interweave the ministry into it? Because obviously, I don't think you're probably placing a King James Version Bible on every table that you have, or giving out little pamphlets with every coffee, are you? So how do you weave in the ministry?
Awesome.
No.
That's very effective too.
I'll donate the Bibles. The King James.
We can call the Gideons.
Oh yeah,
So,
there you go.
No. And the coffee shop is not obviously limited to or exclusive for Christians or church goers.
Yeah.
By no means. Because I would say a large growing portion of coffee drinkers are unchurched. And so that's not a priority, or I'd say priority.
Yeah.
That's not a requirement for us. But it does serve as for us. It serves as a means to connect with people that we don't know. So, for example, we moved here and didn't know anyone in this community.
Now you know everybody.
Now we know everybody. And so it's not really a trick because. Personally, I don't want to be in the coffee shop every day, so that's I'm not going to take advantage of people coming in and as far as that sense, but it does help for us to get to know the community. The community gets to know us. We get to grow with the community, and so as we go, we learn to trust the community. The community learns to trust us, and then we find the need. As we're there, each day we talk to new leaders, if you will, even, and those that are just in need in the community, and we find out, hey, what's needed. And so maybe we need some youth programs, as I've already mentioned. Maybe we need something for single moms. Maybe we need something for, and the list goes on.
Yeah.
And so then we say, okay, this is what we're getting. This is the feedback we're getting. The coffee shop does serve sometimes as a meeting spot. Again, if someone wants to do Bible studies, well, they can. Again, if somebody's opposed to Bible studies, well, they can still come and drink coffee. But it does serve sometimes as the actual place, meeting place, or connect point. But I think overall for us, it's a way we can get into the community and serve the community, and again build the trust, build the confidence, and the need. I personally feel for any ministry that it's important to focus on a need or filling a need. Just to build another church or just to start another ministry is silly to me if there's not a real good reason for it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And so that's kind of our, now on top of all that, I don't want to get away from the fact that we do love coffee.
Yeah.
And so I do want to have a coffee shop if for no other reason, because it's it's good
like
coffee.
it. Yeah.
And so we have not compromised on the kind of coffee. We pay extra to have good quality coffee. We have not compromised on our equipment and things like that. So that we can produce the best possible specialty coffee that we can for this area. And so if somebody just likes really good coffee, the need was here just for a coffee shop.
sure.
Yeah.
So aside from ministry, just having a coffee shop was very, very needed,
So you're a coffee shop with a ministry problem.
There you go.
The other thing that I'll point out is when I went in, I was a stranger. When I walked in, but when I left, I felt like, hey, they remember my name, or they'll know my name, and it was a really friendly atmosphere too. So
Step
cool.
one, coffee shop culture is to make sure when the person gives you their name, like Mark, make sure you misspell it the most impossible way.
Yeah.
How does Mark have a Y in it? I don't understand.
This is Karen. I told him Mark. How did they spell Karen?
That's good.
But no, it was like when I left, he didn't even write it on the thing. He just said bye, JT, and just took off. So no, it was really cool.
We feel like we know most of the community right now, and it's funny. In our first week, we were referring to people as regulars, and some thought that was funny. But we have people that come twice a day. Some people come 3 times a day.
Wow.
So almost everyone, it seems like, that comes in is a regular already. So
Very
it's neat.
cool. And how long have you guys been open?
I guess we're finishing our 4th week.
Okay.
So of just our little soft opening phase, and we're finishing about 4 weeks.
Wow. Very cool. Do you have that deepen look thought, or you're falling asleep? I can't remember which one.
I'm not falling asleep. It's deep thoughts. The coffee now. I'm just a regular coffee drinker.
Right.
So
right.
what type of beans do you use for that? Because there's Sumatra, Nicaraguan, Kona, Kenya.
I mean,
do you have like a specific one? Do you have a rotating list?
We do and will have somewhat of a rotating list. For the last 4 weeks, we've kind of stayed with the same because the coffees we have are fit this community. Everyone has liked what we have, so we're sticking with 2 what we call drip or batch brew coffees, and that's a Colombia and a Honduras. They're both a medium roast. Colombia might be a little lighter, and the Honduras may be a little darker. And then for our espresso, we're using what Pure Intentions calls Black Cat, but it's about 60% Brazilian. Go ahead.
I was just saying, hey, buddy. That sounds dangerous.
Yeah. It's
It's like a Ron Burgundy coffee.
Or a firework.
Yeah, it's Brazilian and Guatemala mix, 60% Brazilian, 40%, and on the other. And so we've stuck with those 3 right now, and those have worked well. As a matter of fact, we will break out some new things. I mean, because that's just what you do. But right now,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right. The community loves, and I would say every community has its own flavor for coffee or taste for coffee, and this one definitely loves what we've got right now.
I can tell you, I owned a coffee shop in 2000.
You've owned every possible thing.
It was part of our growth plan. So I owned an ice cream coffee shop is what I owned.
Wow.
And I can tell you, it takes a lot of cups of coffee to sell a day to, you know what I'm saying, to pay that bill. So my hat's off to you for serving that. Not only does it take a lot of coffee, but I think per capita, opening a coffee shop is more expensive than opening an average restaurant with a hood vent. So
seriously?
Yeah, because like the cappuccino machines, espresso machines. I mean, those makers are pricey. I mean, we paid I think $10,000 for ours.
What?
So I don't know. I'm not asking your cost on yours, but that's a huge gamble. It's a roll of the dice for these guys. So
You better like some cappuccino.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know what your initial capital investment, but that's a lot of cups of coffee, and for you to already have a lot of regulars, that's
fantastic.
That's great. So I mean, just I love small business entrepreneurs. I mean, I'm one myself, so I dig people that take that gamble on themselves. So my hat's off to you.
Yeah, thank you.
So, are you opposed to us parking and selling bicycles in in the parking lot?
Motorcycles.
Motorcycles.
Well, I tell you what, I can bring probably a large swath of deadbeat guys up there to get a cup of coffee. I'm sure. So
There you go. You can ride over to get some coffee.
yeah.
There you go.
It's been done before. It's been done before. So
Yeah.
Very cool. The other thing that probably more important that I would say, you've got the coffee, but then walk us through these pastries, because my wife got a pastry and she was like, "This thing is incredible." I didn't get a bite because she ate it by the time she left the store to the house. So tell us about the pastries that you guys are selling.
Well, right now my wife Danielle is making the pastries. We're sticking to cinnamon rolls, which they have, of course, an icing on them, and blueberries. That's kind of our standard right now. And so she has done a few different varieties of the blueberries. Or let me take that back. She's done a few varieties of the cinnamon rolls, and so that's changed up a little bit. But consistently, if you come in, you'll find a cinnamon roll with the icing on it and some blueberries. We're also doing a what we call, I guess, a little deeper south, praline cakes around here.
Praline.
I'm hearing praline around here, but it's a cookie buttercream icing on a praline or praline cake with some pecans on it, or pecans.
Speaking of pralines, praline bacon. I'll have to make you some of that next time you come to the house.
All right, so that concludes our episode. We're going to go. What's at the shop right now? Is it cinnamon roll
It's
or
the cinnamon rolls and the cookie butter
All right,
buttercream?
so that wraps up this show. We're out of here.
We're going to take the show remote.
We'll be back next week. No, that sounds fantastic. Yeah. I think she got the cinnamon roll, and
they're amazing.
She was stoked about that. So
they're amazing.
Maybe when we swing by, I'll pick one up as well.
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah. What time y'all open up?
6 a.m.
Perfect.
Whoa.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good gracious.
It's long hours, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm out. Like I couldn't do that.
Well, you can. You just live right down the road.
Well, I mean,
it's actually a drive for me.
Well, I know, but like getting up at 6 a.m, I'm not.
That's good. It's like the perfect time, man. Yeah, oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm usually waking up. I have to work at 8:30, and I work from home.
They open at 6. What time does you have to get there to get the place opened up?
Yeah.
Well, if we do our job right the night before, we can get there about 5:30 and be okay.
Good gracious.
No. Time to make the biscuits.
I'm literally 15 minutes from when I have to start work from when I wake up. So I just put on some pants and head downstairs. That's about
Why
it.
even put on pants?
Well, I have to let the dog out too, so that gets
okay.
a little awkward.
I got you.
With your neighbors.
Neighbors.
Yeah. Well, very cool. Man, I'm stoked. I really excited for you guys.
Thank you.
You guys have got a fantastic product in the coffee. Can't wait to try these pastries.
Yeah.
And
What are, I guess, besides the pastries, what are your like specialty drinks? 'Cause every coffee house kind of has their specialty drink or drinks. So
okay. So being in the soft opening phase, we still have not, I guess, expressed everything we want to bring out.
no pun intended.
Yeah, there you go. And I wanted to throw that in there. And so we do have a latte of syrups. Okay, we do make our syrups in house though, or syrups if I'm okay.
There you go. Get it right.
Yeah. So we have a lot of those are made in house. So right now, and I'll give you an example. We're keeping a vanilla, a caramel or caramel. I'm hearing also.
They're both. Yeah.
Mocha. And those are our three staples that you'll find most any day, and they're absolutely amazing. Those are made by Evan. Evan is one of our baristas, and he makes all of the syrups. And but then he throws in things like the maple butter syrup. It's amazing. So
Sounds good.
You get a maple butter latte with a little bit of honey in it. That's amazing. And so we're kind of sticking to a simple process right now, not going real crazy or extravagant with it. Now we also do some loose leaf teas, and
Who are those by? Just curious.
Charleston Tea Plantation,
Okay.
and there's a neat story behind that. So we get our loose leaf teas from them. That's about the most local we can get with the loose leaf. There is nobody else around that actually produces tea leaves in America that we know of right now, other than Charleston Tea Plantation. Everything else is imported besides herbal teas. So that's why we went with them, and their tea's good. It's great, and we do some things with that. So you can make versions of a London Fog or a chai tea latte or a dirty chai, things like that. And those are just versions of tea, milk, and maybe sometimes some espresso. And we've just worked on those, tweaked those a little bit, add a little honey here and there, and vanilla, and our honey's local too. We got local honey, so it's amazing.
Sounds on point.
On a simple basis.
Wow.
Nice.
Well, it's well thought out. The local thing is where it's at right now.
Yeah.
That's how you set yourself apart from the Krispy Kreme and the Dumpy Donuts and Starburns. So, it's just honestly,
Yeah.
you got to find your own niche and stay in it. So
Yeah, no
that's
doubt.
that's awesome. So
And if I can add this, Charlotte is there's a term we see a lot around here. It's hyper local. Charlotte is one of the most hyper local environments as a metro that I've seen most anywhere.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you picked a great spot to start. So, you mentioned-
I'm kind of mad because I was actually wanted that spot,
oh no!
the barbecue joint. Yeah, but it's all right though.
What if we use the other side as the barbecue joint?
Last thing I need to do right now is have a restaurant.
But you mentioned coming to Concord and just falling in love with it. Was there anything in particular that you were like, man, this feels like home, or is it just like the people, or?
The people was the first thing I would say. Again, there was a sincerity in the relationships that we and we didn't even try. They came to us. When we first came through and visited, I love eating out, and we eat out at every different restaurant we can find,
Sure.
local restaurants. And so as we went from Ballantyne to Huntersville to Gastonia, obviously over here to Concord. Every restaurant we ate at, the people were the most friendly I had ever met, and sincere. You could tell it was not just a nice Southern hospitality. It was sincere. A lot of them were young. A lot of them were just millennials. But they're friendly and sincere, and really seemed concerned with having a conversation and building a relationship. And so within just a few weeks, months, it felt like we knew the entire metro of Charlotte. And even right now, people are coming in our shop now that we actually met 6 months or a year ago,
Oh, wow.
that we've not even seen in all of this time in between. And they're walking in our shop and they remember us by name. We remember them by name, and they were a waiter or server at a restaurant 6 months or a year ago.
Wow,
So,
that's cool.
It's
Very
incredible.
cool. Nice.
Yeah, that's the best form of advertising. Just be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't be a
about
jerk.
it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
Yeah, very cool. So, if people want to stop by and check out the coffee shop, where do they go, or how do they?
Okay,
touch?
so our physical address is 410 Church Street North in Concord. I think 28025 is the zip code. Also, I would say the best ways to track us right now, follow us, is on Instagram and Facebook, and our handles there are groundwork.common.
Okay, very cool. And we'll put links to that on our show notes, so
Thank you.
you can check them out there as well.
Thank you.
Very cool. Well, we play a game. We call it 10 in 1. We're going to ask you 10 questions and see if you can get it in under a minute. Would you be willing to try to play that game?
Yeah, might as well.
You ain't got nothing better to do, right? We got you dialed in. All right, so here we go. Better with coffee, a cinnamon roll, a donut, or a biscuit?
Cinnamon roll.
Groundwork or public work?
Groundwork.
Favorite non-coffee drink?
London Fog.
The Varsity, is it worth it? In Atlanta.
No, Greasy.
If you have to choose, Starbucks or Dunkin'? If you have to
Starbucks.
choose. What's the perfect day not at the shop?
Sunday.
What's favorite board or card game?
Card.
Cream or sugar, yay or nay?
No, neither.
Favorite Girl Scout cookie?
Samoa.
Wow,
If we can
that's
still say
quick.
that.
All right, and everybody knows your spirit animal. What is your spirit food? The food that you resonate most with.
If you could be that food, what would you
Oh,
be?
that's a good one.
Oh man, fried chicken probably.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There you go. I like it. Good job, buddy. You got it under a minute. Fantastic. Good job.
What is a London fog? I've never heard of that. I'm so out of
Okay.
I'm so out of tea culture, coffee culture now that I don't even know what that
I'm
is.
going to order it, and I don't even know what it is.
Okay, so London Fog is an Earl Grey tea and a milk, and then a vanilla syrup, and you can do other things. Some people put lavender and such. Now, if you come by our shop, we do, or I do personally, a little bit of an extra treat with that. So we'll do the Earl Grey loose leaf tea. We'll do the vanilla syrup, which is made in-house, if I may reiterate. And we do, I'll throw in oat milk, okay? So we have an Oatly oat milk, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's blown up here. Everybody wants it. We sell out of it every time we get it within just a few days. So so now we have the oat milk, the vanilla, the Earl Grey tea. I throw in some of our local honey that we got from our friend JB, and
Shout out.
and it is one of the most amazing steamed milk. It's one of the
Okay.
most amazing drinks you'll ever. That's not coffee, and it'll get you. It'll get you. You'll be hooked.
I'm going to get it tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to go get it.
See you at 6 a.m.
I ain't getting it then. Very cool. Well, dude, thank you so much, Gabriel, for
Thank
coming
you.
in and hanging out with us. Again, check them out. Groundwork.common
Yep.
on the Instagrams
And the Facebooks.
and the Facebooks. And then check them out at 520,
410.
410. Man, I was so not close.
They're only open 26 hours a day. So, but closed like Chick-fil-A on Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah, what days are you closed?
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Sundays are
Monday
closed.
through Saturday. And now on Saturday, we do not open until 7 a.m. 1 hour
Attaboy.
extra. Okay.
We got to sleep in a little.
Yeah,
Gotta
yeah,
sleep
yeah,
in.
a little extra sleep.
But
Fantastic.
I'm thinking you and Chick-fil-A conspired together to,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get craving a London Fog on a Sunday with a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and nope,
Hey, buddy.
should have got it the night before.
Build the need.
Fantastic. Well, thank you again for stopping in, and we'll have all your stuff on our show notes, and we'll stop on by.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
a lot,
you very
man.
much.
Have a good one.
So that's it. You're listening to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it,
Thanks, guys.
and we'll see you next week.